Hey! Oh, my shoes are filthy from the weekend. Yeah. We've had some nice weather this weekend, but it's just been heavy showers and the roads have been like a bit muddy. Ugh. Overall doing well. And you've been have you been racing or riding outside this weekend? What's everybody been up to? My handlebars are very soggy after the time trial the other night. I do not like the sweaty hood. Oh, God. Need to put a towel down. My hands are going to slide off the bars otherwise. Yuck. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm getting myself into, Jesse. Absolutely no idea. But I got an easier week coming up to me this week. So today's the last day to get some riding in before. I'm probably only going to do one hard ride next week. A 90-minute to 2 hour sweet spot session. 90 minutes straight through, or 2 hours straight through. Depends how well I'm going or how good I'm feeling. But that will be a hard session. So best that I do that on a bit of a deload week. Or for most people, a deload week is exactly that, and they're better off just doing it the week after the deload week. Oh. Ooh, I've never done it, Jesse. I've never done it. So if anyone's in the chat for... So the Liege race will be in an hour. So if you're still in the chat then for that short race, then it'd be much appreciated, because I will be in the unknown. Oh, I don't actually have any water. Oh, Niall's in this race as well. Niall, you've got to stop doing the same races as me, buddy. Focus on your own training. Stop. You don't have to keep riding the races I do. Training exactly or riding exactly as I do will not get you as fit as I am. That's the nicest way to put it, buddy. Don't wait around for me. Don't wait around to race with me. You do your own thing. That goes for anybody, actually. Like, I would never want people to wait around just to ride or race with me. I appreciate it, but I can't even remember the world champs, Jesse. The start is a lot like you did in the world champs. And after that finish kicker, you go straight towards the corkscrew. Ah, right, okay. Ah. Oh, it's quite draggy up there then. It's like, because you come down that, don't you? So, yeah. Ooh. Oh, that'll be okay, won't it? Hard, but it sounds like a good circuit, actually. Good route. I'll have to make sure I get some water after this one. I've just posted on my Instagram story that I'm looking for some advice for so much information out there on chains and chain lube, chain wax. I'm obviously looking for the fastest and efficient and everything. I'm looking to invest a bit of money in that sort of stuff now, even though it's quite an expensive, or can be quite an expensive way of doing things. But I'm gonna whoop. So has this got the new pack dynamics or what? Can't actually change gear now. The towel is so big. Need a small towel. Sorry. Did I get a sample of squirt? No. I don't think so. No, I didn't. I'm a bit rusty at this group riding. I've done so many time trials on Zwift. I think I'm going to have to pull out all the stops to do what I want to do this year, so investment is going to be crucial. Where do you notice it, Patrick? You notice it like actually in the bunch rather than at the back of it. Oh, I've still got bummer. I've still got 0% training difficulty on amateur. Need to switch that off. I'm getting lots of replies on Instagram anyway, so I appreciate all your valuable insight. Because you know, at the end of the day, we are all restricted in some way, and I ride my bike, obviously coaching and everything else, and YouTube. It becomes very difficult to become tied up in looking at what's the most efficient X, Y and Z. Takes a lot of time, and that's where utilising people who have already done it. Actually got dropped there very easily. Dropped very easily. Apologies. I did tell you it was a warm-up. Yeah, I'm not really I don't really need to worry about bike maintenance. The only thing I'm worried about is speed and zero friction. Well, not zero friction, but I don't care about maintenance. I don't care if I have to wash my bike after every ride. That's, again, at the end of the day, that's my job to a certain extent. So it wouldn't bother me. It looks smoother when you're in the group. I don't know. No, I'm not basing that off of anything really, but no idea, Jesse. No idea. Again, that sort of thing just goes straight over my head. Ceramic bearings in headset and bottom bracket and wheels, but not in jockey wheels, mainly because I wear jockey wheels out too fast. That's what happens when you live around here. I'm being serious as well. You saw what happened to my jockey wheels. Truth, Ben, truth. Now, interesting. We keep getting feathers. What do you think, chap? Do you prefer a race that does the same power-ups? Or do you prefer a race that does a variety? Or none? No power-ups? Niall, don't pull the group. If you're going to close a gap, you need to get separation. Don't pull a group. What awful legs, isn't it? That's what they feel like. Hence the warm up. Hey, I'm nearly level 57, everyone. Madness. Shows my age. Shows my Zwift age. What's everyone else's level? I'm interested. Nathan, you must be level 60 surely. All that Zwifting I was doing in lockdown, do you remember that, everyone? Probably gained about 40 levels right there. Ah, nice, Jesse. We're going to have a race to level 60. It might take us until December. Hey, nice one, Lee. Nice one, Lee. Niall's gone solo, so no chasing. Easy peasy in the group. Follow, follow, follow. Has anybody not seen Liege back on Liege today? I guess that's the question you want to ask before we put any spoilers in there. Alright, now I've still got that gap. This is where, like, if they don't close the gap to Niall here, he could stretch it out a fair bit, so this is the moment to press on as hard as possible, because from here to the climb now it's like flat uphill, so that gap could grow to 5-6 seconds if none of us pull here now. So let's see if that happens. I always feel like when you got a teammate and it makes it slightly easier, but of course me now I've got to be right, like I've got to be paying attention, and if like late on with like a lap or 2 laps to go, if it all kicks off in this group, people try and get across the Nile for example, I've got to go with it, and there's no option. I've got to play with the moves, but for now it's just watching. Let's see what happens here. If you just joined the stream, welcome. We're in the warm-up race, if you can call it that. There's a lot of red in the graph. Going to be doing the Liege, chasing Liege soon, and hopefully have a better result than Tadej Pogacar. Oh, sorry. 6.6k to go. Keep an eye on things. Blue and grey in the graph. See what happens to the gap here. Follow. Split there. Good split. No effort though, really. Apart from just getting on that wheel. Trying to stay away from the front as well, because I obviously don't want to be punching through. I mean, I could stall things, but there's always a fine line between if you roll through to the front, you're slightly contributing, at least if you sit at the back in a group this size, it's okay. Oh, what's happened to Trainer Road? Oh, I loved it, Lee. Absolutely loved it. Do you live around there? Now, I was going to attack straight over the top there, but the way it's lended itself, because we turned onto this, it's turned in a bit of a tricky situation. Oh, nicely, nice. Well, you're definitely lucky to have those there, that's for sure. Or unlucky, depends on which way you look at it. Have you seen my recent video where I ride the climbs on the Gower, some of my favourite climbs on the Gower? So I want to try and do, I might do a few more in my area like that, and then, you know, with a bit of a commentary, a breakdown of the climbs, and then include a route, so if anybody's in the area and wants to follow the route and do similar climbs, then they can, and maybe I'll go for a little bit further afield and take on board some, you know, some recommendations from people as to what climbs to do, and include them in videos as well. Create like a bit of a, I don't know. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Thanks, Jesse. Isn't it weird how when you do a big effort, like flat out, if you then like ride at zone 3, it's amazing how much of a difference that is to like perceived effort. Like the way it feels. Ha. Nice one. Nice one, nice one. I wonder what that effort was then. It won't be a normalised power, but how did we do? $465-ish, give or take. Big drop off then, because once the gap was made, then I think, to be honest, a lot of that was down to Niall doing the work that he by going off the front, and then maybe the group didn't necessarily chase, but they were maybe thinking about, do we catch Niall or do we watch Ed? And there's a fine line then between, like, you're definitely going to lose the race if you leave that one rider go, but do you bring him back and then leave yourself open to another attack? That's the that's always the conundrum. That's always the chess on wheels, as they say. But to be fair, I think it was made a little bit easy for me because of that situation. So when I went to get the gap, once the gap was there, it was all about just riding to what the group were doing behind. And to be honest, that's exactly how really you could win the World Championships when they were raced around this circuit. If you've got the gap and you were solo, that's all you technically need to do is match whatever they're doing behind. And if they're busy just sprinting for the top for the elimination, and then doing like 4 watts per kilo everywhere else, well, I mean, you do the maths. You know, most world class, because, you know, World Championship riders, world class riders are going to be doing 4 watts per kilo in their sleep. That's the unfortunate truth, of course. So being able to do that, the old one too. Yeah, and sometimes, like what Jesse's just said there, sometimes, you know, when you jump on the bike and you're like, oh, I really don't feel it, and my legs feel tired, and like you just don't feel like today's the day, and then you do a little bit of an effort just to get your heart rate up and get a little bit of sting going in the legs, because sometimes your legs, you know, they feel like hard, like they're just like rock, and you're like, oh, I really need to like loosen them up. And it's funny, you throw in like a little effort. It's no surprise, that's why warm-ups work, really, isn't it? But like, you throw in a bit of an effort, or you sprint away from traffic lights or a roundabout or a junction, and you're like, oh, that's funny, my legs are okay now. Okay, we got 28 minutes until the chasing tour, chasing Liege. I think I might grab a drink in the meantime, spin my legs down a little bit here. I might ride over to the climb actually and see what it's like. Being that I've never ridden it before. Trainer Road is going to need a new coach. Chad, send him your CV. So how do I turn right there? Why won't I only turn right? I have to go up this road and turn around. Why? I think I should stay with the Tron for the next event. What do you think? So a bit of an update in the laverack, how do I call it? Laverack household. Bit of an update. We're looking to buy a van. Looking to buy a van. And it won't be cheap. Sadly. Maybe do a conversion, but I'm not sure yet. I definitely need something though. So if anyone's selling a van, put it on Discord. New conversation. It depends. It definitely wouldn't be new, Patrick. It would be used. It would be used. It wouldn't really be a full conversion, it would just basically be like somewhere to sleep in the back. And somewhere that means I can actually be more flexible on the road, because the way things are currently, like a lot of my plans that I make for the year, they're like relying heavily on like hotels being in specific places, or like having, like hiring cars if we're going abroad, and like, you know, I'm not GCN with like maybe the funds to throw a lot of stuff like that at a project currently. But to give me the flexibility is the main thing really. No, not a caddy. No, I've done the measurements and I've like looked at, and that doesn't work either, because if I'm, say for argument's sake, I'm doing a solo trip, then obviously a small van is perfect. But if you're looking at like a trip with me and Charlie, then a small van is useless, especially if you've got 2 or 3 bikes. So I've looked at it in a lot of detail. I've looked at it so much that Charlie's annoyed at me because that's all I talk about for the last week. But yeah, the time has come really to invest in something, because I think for too long, well, I think put my money where my mouth is really. Put my money where my mouth is. Yeah, where did the bikes go, Robin? Am I going to wax my chain? Well, if that's the fastest way, yes. But if it's not faster than like a special lube, then I won't change. I'll go to a special lube. What the people who've got vans in the local area with me, the one thing they tell me is you will never, as long as you can afford the cost, you will never say that, oh, my van is too big when it comes to cycling adventures or trips or anything. Like, space is the premium, but of course that's where the payoff of, you know, at the end of the day, it's an investment. Like, if I'm going to go out and do the 10 best climbs in the Alps or like anything like that, then I need to take ownership of what I'm going to be doing rather than kind of relying on, yeah, it's just the flexibility. Yeah, you can't in the UK, Robin. Hotel prices in the UK are through the roof, buddy. And you see, that's the thing as well. The you know the hill climbs I do at the end of the season, right? So the thing is with the hill climbs is they're bloody expensive, and I don't know if that comes across in the videos or like the preparation or anything, but like, sometimes it's like £20 to ride an event for like a 3 or 5 minute hill climb, and not just that, but then you've got to pay for accommodation, and that's another reason why UK racing in general is on the downward trend, because things are so expensive. You know, and I've been paying for the privilege to race for like 12 years. And to not just to do what I do, because I do a wide variety of things. You know, I'm not just a gravel racer, I'm not just a road racer, I'm not just a time trialist. You know, I do a lot of things, so it's that freedom to do, you know, what if I was doing a ride where it would require, I was doing a road ride with some of the best climbs in the area, and then filming a video on that, and then the next day doing one of the best gravel rides in the area, but not just me, like a few of us, and obviously that'll be made easier in a van. I can also sleep in a van, you see, I can also cook in a van. So over the long term, short term it's expensive, long term it's not in the UK anyway. 100%, Ian, as you say, it's an investment, like, plus as a business, technically, you know, which I am self-employed and I am in communication with my accountant currently, but like, why am I even telling you this? I don't think, by the way, you know, the way I'm talking about conversion is maybe a little bit different to what you're thinking. When I say conversion, I mean it's the bare minimum inside. It's not, there's no creature comforts, like, it's literally somewhere I can sleep and cook food. Evening, bud. How's things? Massage chairs. In the driving seat, you mean? I gotta be honest, I don't know if any of you saw the videos from Alpe d'Huez last year, the Haute Route event, and we drove down in a hired transporter, and I have to say it was the best experience I'd ever had on it in a vehicle. Did the whole journey there on one tank of fuel, which was like £100. As someone who's like travelled around the world in a bike box in a suitcase, you know, it'll never replace the convenience of flying. But again, for what I'm doing, you know, the thing is, like, you know, the hill climb season, which runs through the whole of September and October, that's bloody expensive. I'm paying almost at least £1,000 on hotels and food on those 8 weeks alone. Okay, we've done the climb. Right, I'm gonna get a drink. Besides, you all know what car I'm driving currently, right? Yeah? Like, the car I use currently is, it's one of the smallest cars you can buy. And technically, I didn't buy it, it was given to me by my, like, almost 100-year-old grandfather. I love him to bits. But, like, the car's way too small for anything. And the final nail in the coffin was, like, you know, when I went to ride with the Welsh cycling boys the other day on that training camp and I did that video on it, I absolutely peed down for 4 hours straight. And I finished the ride and I put the bike in the back of the car, and the bike was, like, filthy. It was soaking wet. And it was the type of rain where, like, if you wiped the bike down outside against the car, within 30 seconds it was, like, wet through again. So I took the bike in the car. It took me 10 minutes to drive back, which I know I should have ridden to the start and ridden home. It's only 10 minutes. But the weather got the better of me. And so I throw the bike in, get back, the car is filthy and soaking wet. And every time I put the bike in, it's like I've got to move the seats forward. It's like, it's such a... It's mad. Anyway, I'm just talking, like... Thank you, Robin. It's not... I'm not intending... The Dacia. Well, the Dacia, yeah. But I'm not even talking about the Dacia, right? I'm not even talking about the Dacia. Yes, but Rory was on that ride, yeah. He's sound... Right, I'll be right back. Keep chatting, chat. Keep chatting. Got my Alp Cycles bottle. Heading out to Portugal in a couple of weeks. Also, the thing is as well, like, how I say my GCM vid. I haven't, but bloomin' heck, man. I've got, like, let me tell you, right. This is how I organise stuff, chat. So I've got, anybody else use Notion? Notion is like it's like a productivity app. It's also on desktop and stuff. Productivity. I use that, and I've got a page on there which is literally filled with videos that I need to catch up on, and one of them is that. So I apologise. Notion even had what they call it, like a chat GPT as well. You got to pay for that, like £10 a month. Procrastination Pro. Is that a real thing? Really? Procrastination Pro. Oh, good joke. Good joke. Oh, but it's nothing. I'm still surprisingly awkward in front of a camera. I'm no worries, Ian. You had me. No, but I'm still awkward on camera. I'm even more awkward when there's people around, like, watching me with the camera. Yeah. It's mad that they condensed 6 hours of filming into 12 minutes. So many shots that never got used. Yeah, I bet, but yeah, the amount. I mean, they just churn out videos, haven't they? They just churn them out. Like, I mean, that is what it is, isn't it? It's a content. It is a content machine. But saying that, you know, when I went up to North Wales with Nick and we did that 100k ride, and Paul too, you know, it was like, if you think about it, we rode for 5 hours and I condensed it down into like a 12-minute video. So it never does it any justice, is what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's a shame we can't use more, but, well, there's a time and a place, isn't there? Like, you know, 45-minute video here and there. I actually love sitting down and doing the long videos. You know, they take a while, but, well, in fact, they probably take less time than the short ones, because you've got to be savage when you're editing the short ones, you know. Oh, loving them, Emma. I'm wearing them now. The shocks. I don't think the discount works anymore, though. But yeah, I use them every day virtually. They're really good as well for phone calls. Like, good. And some people are saying to me, like, if you wear them outdoors and you're training and it's windy, like, you can't hear the music, or, well, I can definitely hear music. But one thing I do struggle with, like, in listening to podcasts, some of you have been recommending podcasts to me, like the Huberman Lab podcast. I'm making my way through those Dr. Andy Galpin, and I'm listening to those when I'm out riding, and it's been quite windy recently. And like on descents maybe, when I'm doing like, you know, over 25 mile an hour or something, that's when I start, like on full volume, I can't quite hear it, so I've got to get down to the bottom of that hill as fast as possible so I can so I can listen to what they're saying. Race starts in 7 minutes, everyone. 7 minutes till the race starts. Yeah, that's Hank for you, but yeah. Oh, I think they will be, Emma. I sometimes, you know, I see people out riding with AirPods, and you know they're obviously loose in your ear, so if they fall out, you practically lose them, don't you? So that's what I kind of like about these as well, is that I can just rest them around my neck. But what I've actually done a couple of times is I've just put them on my handlebar, and because of the way they rest like that, they're always kind of like overlapped or like hooked around each other. So even if they move around in your handlebar, they don't really fall off. So they can kind of just like loop. Saying that, I've just dropped them. They kind of like loop around. Also, they don't hurt my ears. Like if I'm out for a 7-hour ride, which is very rare, but they don't hurt my ears. My ears. Let's join the event. Not enough of riding around. Oh, level 60. 58 or 57. What are these socks I've got? Garage. Socks. What else did I unlock? Oh my word, all of those socks. Beverage. Oh, I like the pink ones. I never change the socks. I'm very boring. I just like white socks. What's that? Flames. The problem with the flames is they always give you away, don't they, when you attack. Not that I produce massive power to cause the flames to kick in, but... Gloves. Oh, I used to have a pair of those knitted gloves. When I won the under 23 road race championships, British road race championships, I was wearing a pair of knitted leather gloves that I got from eBay, and they were cool AF, like, cause a proper old school. And I was wearing like black and pink kit from Rafa, and I was wearing these white gloves, and it was just like, you know, when someone's riding with white shorts or someone's riding with like white handlebar tape, it's not practical at all, is it? But you just look cool. So that I was wearing, and then like the day after I won the nationals, I put them in the washing machine and they shrunk, and I never wore them again. So I know you spoke about that before, Niall. The problem with just looking at your average power is that if you come out of if you go up a hill or something, and the hill is like 20 seconds long, and you're supposed to be doing like, say, 200 watts, but you're doing like 250, you might be working in a whole different range. So but you should have, well, it takes time to practice holding the wattage, but Thing is, if it's going all over the place, when I'm riding, when I'm on my head unit, I always have like my power averaged 5 seconds, but you can average it to like 10 seconds, and that should flatten it out for you a lot more. Like it should help you, like it should help you look at it and not be like put off by the numbers going everywhere, because if they average 10 seconds, it should be a much less fluctuation in it, basically. So yeah, to be fair, no, like 5 moves around quite a bit. 5 second moves around quite a bit. But I've been riding with 5 for years now. But it's just over time you get used to it and you become a little bit better at like just not ignoring it, but like, you know, you gradually become a bit more, your body adapts to like small changes in pressure on the pedals, because at the end of the day that's what it is. Like, don't worry about it. If I was like, you know, you use the average 10 seconds, see how that goes. If that's not doing it, then I'm sure there might be an average 20 seconds actually, which isn't a bad thing either. Like anything that helps really, like, and then you can maybe work back down from that. So is this supposed to be a hard race then? Bearing in mind I've not raced in ages now, right? So apart from just now, but like, is this supposed to be like really good field? I have no idea. The thing is, you know, this Kickr V6, this has got the new race mode thing where the power fluctuates like a lot on the left hand side, even with the 3 second average. And that puts me off sometimes, especially, that's why I've been using the 0% difficulty, training difficulty, when I've been doing those time trials, because otherwise it would just be all over the place. Oh no. Heart rate's died. Red light. On my Headwind, is paired to heart rate monitor, so it's gone off. Yeah, it's a shame we can't collect heart rate data now. Yeah, no heart rate DQ. I know that. Yeah, I know that. Nothing I can do about it. It doesn't matter anyway. It's not the World Championship. You don't have to worry about it. I've just shown you that the heart rate monitor died. Now the heart rate monitor's on the floor now, I've just put it on the floor. It's not actually reading because it keeps going off, it's automatically switching off. Glitch, glitch, glitch. So does the race split up on this course? Or does it just stay big? It's the chasing tour race, so it's I think it is, yeah, pretty big thing. I'm only using it when I carry the drone. So there's no weight to it. so it's not giving me a sweaty back. I can see why this race splits on the corkscrew, because people could be on the limit after that. Yeah, because it's just stretched out there, really, isn't it? It's splitting now. Virtually flat though. 1%. 42k an hour. It's fast, isn't it? Look, 9k, 11 minutes, so 27k in half an hour, give or take. It's very fast, isn't it? Very fast. It's going to be interesting actually to see how you could use this race to create an interval session, like with how the climb is positioned. Outside here, Josh. Ah, it's on drum in the Wahoo kit. Nice, best of luck, Josh, best of luck. At some point, Jesse, I will have to push VO2. At some point. The thing is, you know, the pack dynamics, is they make it easier to sit in a bunch. Well, not easier, but it does feel quite cruisy sitting in a group. Probably always has done though, at this level. The race is flying by though. Yeah, true, Jesse, but it depends on the group size, doesn't it? Like, I certainly can't dance with death, you know, all the time, by sitting where I sit. It depends, doesn't it? I understand. Understood. 4 laps to go. Cheers, Gareth. Nice one, Garth. When will I attack? When do you want me to? Let's bounce the question back. That's a very specific number. Why is that, Gareth? I mean, well, whatever you want me to do. Gin. Yeah, Graham, it was a short one, just a warm-up one. Okay, we'll keep that number in mind, Gareth. We'll keep that number in mind. You said shake it up a bit. I don't know, Ben. Not sure. I think if this was the World Championship circuit, it still wouldn't suit me. It's still too fast for a 60 to 64 kilo low punchy, not punchy rider like me. I think if Nathan's angry that the group's not working, My argument would be, well, you should be in that group that's just broken away. Starting to get a bit hungry. Don't usually Zwift back to back. I'm getting a bit hungry now. The sooner the race finishes, the better. Try something different this lap. Too easy, isn't it?
shocking. PD4's done nothing. No, that's the group coming back. Can't do anything when someone bridges that quick. It's just going to bring a bigger rush of riders. Killed it. Killed it with one stroke, which shows just how quick you can smash, 5, 6, 7. Big 7 gap. Still a big group, isn't it? I mean, there's definitely been more attacks and splits than there would be usually, I think. But then I've never raced this course before, so I can't really speak to that, but it's yeah, it's good that, you know, there's splits happening. It's still very fast. Very fast. Come on now, don't sit up because we've obviously got a split. Group's too big now. I don't think people will work. But you have to bridge like that there. It's a shame I have to burn such a big match, but you've got to whack it. Huge, huge effort if you want to close a gap without bringing people across. So unfortunately sometimes you've got an option but to set fire to a match. And the group's coming back. There it is. it's strung out, so you know definitely everyone was working hard, but yeah, it's the same thing. It is what it is. That's pretty much all my matches there. Oh, the group is massive. Sorry, I can't calm it back. Definitely a good course for emptying a tank though. Very good one. Oof. Oh. If you just joined, thanks for jumping on. Make sure you hit that like button. It's going to be a spicy finish, I think, with this big group. Boom! Oh, I did well there to get back to that wheel, and then my legs exploded. Oh. For those who are watching, that's a good example of when you do lots of threshold work and you do very little of race intensity, as in surging, sprinting, VO2 max. There's a perfect example of what can happen. Oh. Which is definitely not a bad thing, but I'm sure most of you that race Zwift, or race in general, you'll know how much of a difference it can make when you don't race for a while and then you race. Oh. Oh. It's what was I gonna say? It's yeah, that's like a perfect example of like when you do a VO2 max test or lactate threshold testing in a lab or something, and you do ramp, you do step test, and you reach like that certain point and then you just go boof off a cliff, and that's a good example there, right there. So I'm able to recover, I'm able to, for the training phase I'm in, obviously this doesn't matter. It's a good training session, but for what I'm doing in this phase, it's got very little importance. An effort like that, that's not what I'm trying to achieve right now. An effort like, 30 minutes at 6 watts per kilo, 40 minutes at 6 watts per kilo, like those type of 20 minutes at 6.5 watts per kilo. Those are the types of things I'm looking at now. I'm not looking at, a big punch like at the end. So I was brave going with 800 meters to go to get across to the Australian, but I'm happy that I threw the dice there, because if I didn't, then I would have been on the back foot and then trying to sprint with everybody else. But we got a good gap. It was good. It was fun. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed watching. It's good. It digs you in a hole, and I like it. It's very useful. Coaching one guy currently, actually, who's going to be doing the Haute Route Alps and a couple of other kind of long, challenges and stuff. And he still wants to keep in some Zwift racing, once every fortnight. Like that, just to keep that fresh, and that's something that I say go for it. Like, that's something that's very useful to have. Keeps it fresh, because if you go for ages without doing something like that, then it becomes even harder to do it, once when you go back to it. Like, if you don't get me wrong, like good solid training stimulus, doing something very specific for 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever, is very, very good stimulus for the body. But if your ambition is to race or to do anything with high intensity, you've got to make sure you do dabble a bit in it, every so often, so that you don't, importantly, you don't forget what it feels like to go really deep, but also you don't forget internally as well, from a physiological standpoint. So it's good to dig deep. Shoot, we don't have any heart rate data, but there we are. I'll charge it. Right, thanks for watching, everybody. Charlie's just got in, gonna go and grab some food. Thanks for watching as always, and bit of a recharge week this week, so maybe won't do any Zwift racing, but we'll see what happens. But I'll see you in a video very soon. So thanks again, and I will catch you soon. Have a good evening, and have a good week if I don't see you.